it was a good weekend of college football for sure, aside from Michigan, Iowa.
So how do you feel about Michigan pulling Alabama as their first game? Because obviously you see. So starting off my bad is Michigan's reaction to Alabama getting pulled.
Yeah, that I didn't like that reaction either. But people want to just say oh, it was because they felt bad for Florida State. I thought they were going to play Florida State. I did too. So my first reaction was
that's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, because here's your
team.
This is the most logical thought process. Is if you want to have success, you got to go through hard times, but you want the path of least resistance. Everybody does. Everything we want to accomplish, we all want to do it, but we want the path of least resistance. Yeah. That path is obviously Florida State, and they're undefeated. And so you're like, yo, come on, Florida State, get in this thing. And then when they see it, they're like, fuck. And for me, the last time Michigan played Alabama was 2012 in the Cowboy Classic.
Oh, I think they played them again in 2019.
Did they play them again?
Something like that. They got beat. They got beat pretty good too.
I didn't know that. So the last time, so my taste in my mouth is like, God damn, the SEC, the Alabama. I'm thinking we'll get them at the end, a national championship. And I've said this to you guys this morning. Like we all knew here that Michigan was going to win the Big Ten championship, whether we liked it or not. We all were like, Michigan's
there was
probably
a shot. Iowa had a shot.
We all knew that Michigan was going to win the Big Ten championship. This is the next step we got to take. This is the best team Michigan's had in forever. And so, yeah, SEC, Big Bad Wolf. Alabama, the Big Bad Wolf for the longest time, the last 20 years. This is the underdogs. We're the underdogs, dude. We are the underdogs of college football. Go ahead. What was it?
No. It doesn't pertain to this. It does not pertain to this.
Will, it's the quote for them that I always say. One often meets his destiny on the path he takes to avoid it. They wanted Florida State. They got Alabama.
And we just dropped the gem out
here.
That's
the fourth time I've heard it this morning.
That's all right. Now now everybody gets to hear it. Everybody gets to hear it. Hey, like we're trying to get you on the track of hey, you got to be the big bad. To me, it's like you're the team that wants to be the bad boy of college football, right? Like the whole NCAA has been against them. So it's like embracing that, hey, we're the bad boys. We're number one. Like, whoever fucking wants it. Yeah. It's you against that. It's Michigan versus everybody. Then when they pull and it's like, oh, shit. Damn.
Yeah, I did not like that.
A tough start.
I texted some boys. I was like, I'm going to need an explanation on that reaction.
And then you're navigating it as you should. You're trying to take a moment. Hey, fear can be an option, I guess, because now you want them to be an underdog story. But this isn't an underdog story. What does Mike Tyson say
about fear?
Tell us.
Fear is like fire. All right. If you use it properly, it can feed you. It can keep you warm in the winter. It can support your lifestyle. But if you let it get out of hand, it can cause fires. It can cause damage. It can ruin your entire life. Fear is a healthy thing to have.
And if Michigan is having that conversation right now, that is we got to have this conversation because here's the energy in the room.
Yeah, I agree. And I like I said earlier, I didn't like Dave's approach to it. Like
Dave was the big bad wolf. Like, hey, whoever wants it.
I get it. And it is inevitably going to be whoever wants it. But when you're behind closed doors, as they should have been in that moment, and you go, oh, fuck, yeah, we got Alabama. We got what we wanted, essentially, is like, we want the SEC. We're going to get them. You got to take that moment and be like, no, I mean, you got what you want. Eventually, you're going to have to play the SEC anyway if you win the national championship. If you want to win the national championship.
Yeah, but that was the game. Like, this could have been the first time where SEC's left out of the college football.
Yeah, I don't think, I guess if, there was a reason not to put Georgia in, but who do you put in? Not put Alabama in it, but who do you put in if you don't put Alabama in?
It would have been Florida State. It would have been Florida State.
It would have been Michigan, Washington, Texas, and Florida State. That would have been great. That'd have been the easiest way to go, boys. Been the easiest way to go. Listen, there are nerves to this game. To me, it's like I've been confident in every single game Michigan's played, but what have we seen in the college playoff? This is where I sit with you guys, and you guys have said to me all year, yeah, but they get dumb. Now we're here, and this is our opportunity to take the next step. We beat Alabama. We're winning the national championship. Plain and simple. That is going to happen. We are going to beat Alabama. We are.
Hey,
you guys
don't even believe that.
What do you mean?
You don't believe that right now?
See, that's the issue with y'all. I can't talk my way through these emotions.
Yeah.
You were 5-7. You were 5-7.
Hey, have you heard what
y'all don't even know?
Have you heard what Muhammad Salam says? Those who live in illusions die in reality.
You hear that, Will? You hear that, Will?
What? What illusion am I living in right
Nebraska every year. Dude, you are.
So what happens? I die in reality. So what? 10 toes down. I'm confident in whatever game we would play in.
Monday after they lost to Iowa, he goes, you can't tell me they're not going to go 6-0.
Based on the trajectory of the year and what we have in-house and recruits that we can bring in, hey, we just landed a 4-star offensive lineman. We're landing cats.
Yeah.
Like,
what'd you say a week ago? It doesn't matter until he signs.
Yeah,
he's committed.
That's true. That's true. But Nebraska is not even a part of this conversation. We're out of it. It's over.
It's over. It's right.
He's just saying you're talking through a lot of illusions right here, and you're about to die in reality.
I understand. Listen, I understand the war I deal with when it comes to college football on this bus. I get it. And would I be saying I wasn't nervous about Alabama? Would I be lying? Yes, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about Alabama. However, in a month, less than a month's time, Michigan is going to defeat Alabama and shock the entire world. Because people put bets in for Alabama to win the national championship this past weekend.
Hey, can you put up a
direct? Can you put up? But he was in Texas.
Can you put up the overly direct take?
He did in August. What were the odds in August?
So
700.
This overly direct take is brought to you by DirecTV. DirecTV is the ultimate destination for pro football, where fans can get their football fix this season. Whether you're watching the games live on TV or streaming, DirecTV has you covered, and you can get DirecTV without satellite. Again, you can stream, stop compromising, start watching football. Call 1-800-DirecTV for more information. My overly direct take is Alabama wins the national title. And it sucked that I couldn't put $1,000 on them when they were plus 480 when the college football playoff wasn't determined, but I still got them locked in at plus 200.
Great.
That's my overly direct take.
Right. My overly direct take, Michigan wins the national championship. I'll be betting that today.
Bet it right now.
Bet it right now.
Right now.
Do the same amount you did for...
I don't have that much in my account.
What do we think about the Texas-Washington matchup?
I love it.
Yeah,
JP brought up a good stat earlier that they played last year in the bowl game. Which bowl game was it? Alamo Bowl, and it was only a one-score game. Alamo Bowl. But it was only a one-score game. Like, I think Washington was one of those teams too that was kind of getting left out of the conversation for a lot of the college football playoff because they were 9.5-point underdogs against Oregon, which was wild. But Oregon was on a tear going into that game. So everyone figured and assumed that Oregon would win that game. But Washington, man, like, they showed up and taken care of business. Penix is awesome, but I do think a lot of people doubt Washington. They're not even talking about them to win the national title, even though they have went undefeated 13-0 in arguably the third best conference in the country. So I do think Washington has a great shot. I'm fired up for Texas because they won a statement game against, not like a statement game, but a statement win as far as how badly they beat Oklahoma State. Because I do feel like if it would have been close based on their close games with Iowa State, with TCU, then it was kind of like, I mean, yeah, Texas beat Alabama, but also the resume on the back half, they're not like this big bad wolf that's going to go into the college football playoff.
Their last two games, they scored 49 this past weekend, but their last two games, they scored 50 points. So they've made statements. Yeah.
Right, because Quinn was hurt as well. Everybody's like, right. Quinn Ewers is hurt. He's going to come back. And he did bounce back in a big way. And I do think Texas has an unbelievable opportunity to beat Washington, who's undefeated, which is, we're in the college football playoff now. Like, this is the best four teams. But also, they go in, if it's Michigan, whether it's a revenge game, which I'd like to see against Alabama, I think the stakes would be so high. The hype train, the content, the trailers would be so high.
Oh, yeah.
For Texas-Alabama rematch.
The amount of times you'll see that game played over and over and over again for that week.
And what's awesome, too, is there's representation in 4 out of the 5 Power 5 conferences.
Right.
And again, it sucks that Florida State's not in it, but you get the best from every conference that's in it. And Alabama's on a nice heater right now. A lot of excitement in Tuscaloosa.
I'm just glad the committee did the right thing.
Yeah, it was so hard.
I feel like this is the first time they've actually said, okay, this is the 4 best, not the 4 deserving.
Right, which a lot of people are excited about and happy about, but then there's a lot of people who's really pissed off that, hey, does the regular season not matter, which is justified. It sucks. At the end of the day, it's like, who would win? If it goes back to Saban last year, like if you put them in, who'd be favored? Right. Who would Vegas favor? If you have Alabama and Florida State favored right now in a game, who's going to be favored? And it's going to be Alabama by probably double digits. So
if Georgia's got them by 14.
Yeah, if Georgia's got them by 14, Alabama, it would be by double digits. So for that, it's like those reasons is why Alabama is in, and it's the best 4 teams versus, the most deserving teams. I'm fired up.
Bet's been placed.
You got it? What'd you put in?
1,500.
What are the odds?
180.
180.
Payouts like 4,200. 4,230.
Glad you're in it. Yeah.
Let's go.